Hey guys, it's Brandon here again at VapXtream. Bringing you a neat little toy review. I received this from a Chinese manufacturer, basically the same manufacturer that I had received the Miraxis from, which I still haven't seen these in Canada yet. Guys, you got to get on the boat. These are really slick little mechanicals. But it's the same manufacturer that I got that from, and of course my ohm checker as well. One of the neat things, guys, just a quick update. I believe it's Can Vapes. Let me just check here real quick. I believe canvapes.com, or canvape.com, is now carrying these, which, surprisingly enough, after the last review I had done when I had actually received this, they got them on their site a few days later. At least I think it's CanVapes. Yes. Atomizer ohm checker. Basically, it comes with. It doesn't look anything like this. It's actually a black box with the Ego connection by the looks of it. And there is an adapter that goes from a 510 to an 808, which will allow you to check 808 and 901 style atomizers. But they do have them up on their site. $14.95, guys. You cannot go wrong with that. It basically has a 510 Eagle cone threading, so 510 Eagle cone skirt threading. I might be mistaken. It doesn't mention anything about the adapter, but in the picture shows the adapter to go from the 510 to the 808. Requires two AA batteries for their unit. This unit here, which I still got to do a review on, I'll get into it later. But anyway, CanVapes is now actually carrying these. CanVapes, good job. I'm glad to see you guys. You guys are picking up the slack, basically in the Canadian rebuildable market, because these are nice tools to have. They're fairly inexpensive, very inexpensive, actually, I should say. For for $15, you can get something that can check your atomizer resistance. But not only that, guys, but you can actually use it to sorry. You can actually use it to build your atomizers on, because it will now act as a base for your deck for building. So it's nice in that aspect, guys. So yeah, guys, canvapes.com now carrying the atomizer checkers, which is fantastic. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Today, we're actually going to be talking about what's in this little box, which, guys, I'm really sorry about the lighting. I've moved the quote-unquote vape layer to a different location in my house, but basically we're going to talk about the Kayfun. Got this from a Chinese manufacturer, of course, and it's, I'm going to say, probably on the record, is probably going to be one of the best vapes that I've had. I know a lot of people have done reviews on these, and I can't disagree with them. I've had a couple issues with it, nothing really drastic, nothing major, but performance-wise, it's outstanding. I know the real ones retail for around $100 to $110. I know there's a few sites that are carrying cloned versions of these. If I'm not mistaken, canvapes.com is carrying a, basically it's a clone, and so is this. This isn't the actual real thing. This is a clone as well. It's called the Rocket, and it's $29.95. This review does not reflect, or is it the same unit that CanVapes is carrying? And then if I'm not mistaken, vapors.com, which is also another Canadian vendor, guys, they're carrying the H cigar Kayfun. Basically the same idea. What are they charging for theirs? Now the Rocket, of course, from CanVapes doesn't really look 100% like the actual Kayfun. This camera seems to be getting worse, I think. I don't know, I'll have to play with it some more. Sorry guys. But Vaporist carries one from H Cigar. What are they retailing theirs for? Theirs is the Kayfun 3.1, retailing for $54.99, and I believe that's it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. So basically what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to break it down piece by piece. Basically what you get in the box is the actual unit itself, the drip tip, which is not proprietary. It is interchangeable with any 510 drip tip. Also, you'll get a small blue screwdriver, and you'll also receive a little bag of goodies that consist of 4 O-rings, four of the larger O-rings, one of the smaller O-rings, another fill screw, and 2 of the post screws, and I believe the grub screw for the adjustable airflow. So this one here actually does have the adjustable airflow. I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit more and see if we can focus it a little bit. Focus. Yeah, I gotta get a new camera. Anyway, so basically what we'll do is we'll break it down. I've already vaped with this quite a bit, so I'm actually due for rebuild. I've already torn it apart, washed it out. I've left the coil in it just to kind of show you guys what it's like. So there's the drip tip. Then we have a removable top cap, which also consists of an O-ring. There's also an O-ring on the inside, which you also get a spare of. And then there's the tank section. By the way, guys, this is all stainless steel. Basically, this is the kind of like a sandblast finish. The only downfall that I've noticed with the one that I was sent is it only came with the stainless steel midsection. I know a lot of them are coming with the stainless steel and the polycarbonate tanks. I didn't get that for some reason, which I think I would have preferred the clear section, but it's really no big deal. It doesn't change the performance of it. So here's your center section. Basically, there's no ring on each end. And then the bottom of your tank section, the top part of your chimney, my computer's flickering. There. Still flickering. Stop it. Stop it! There we go. The tube, and then of of course, your build section. Now, it's not really a big issue. There's a few parts to it, not a big deal by any means. But there are a few pieces. Very easy to build. Very, very well performing. Here's my... Oh, that's somewhere. How I've been building it? Well, basically I've been using... I can't wait to change this lighting. We just moved into the house and I'm still kind of playing with things. Can I get that to focus? Let me see if I can play this just a little bit. Let's turn the brightness down. Tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. There we go. Oh, too dark. Way too dark. A little brighter. Yeah, man. There we go. So basically I'm using nichrome 28 gauge. I got this off eBay. I think it was like $7 for 200, or sorry, $15 I think for 250 feet of it. So this should last me a good long time. Organic cotton and a microcoil basically is how I've been building mine. And a bag of cotton is elsewhere. Still organizing. Sorry guys. So I've seen a lot of reviews on guys building Kayfuns, Typhoons, and Typhuns, I think is what they're called. And guys stating the fact that they boil their cotton, strain it, and let it sit for 24 hours, and blah, 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 blah. Organic cotton is the most natural form of cotton, so I don't quite understand why you would boil it. It's basically a very clean version, and about as clean as you can get when it comes to cotton balls. It hasn't been bleached, it hasn't been treated, it's just cotton. That's it. There's absolutely no reason to treat it any further. So yeah, I don't quite understand that. I don't wash or boil or do anything to the cotton that I receive or that I purchase, and it comes in a rather large bag from, I think I got mine from, I think the grocery store, I think Metro or something like that is where I found it. But yeah, I don't quite understand that by any means. So basically guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a build with you on this. I know there's a ton of videos on here on YouTube about the builds. Some of them I don't understand why they do what they do, but you know what, again, to each their own. Everybody does everything their own way, and this is basically my own rendition of it. So I'm going to throw my base on my atomizer checker and slide the rest of this stuff out of the way for now. So as you can see right now, you will see it will read nothing because there's no coil on it. So what I'm going to do is grab my trusty coiling screwdriver, which I have no idea what size this is. Basically I just grabbed one and started wrapping coils with it, is kind of how I do it around her. And because of the fact that I don't like wasting material, I don't cut off 8 inches or 12 inches of material. I basically keep it on my spool, and I will take a rough estimate of where I want to be, and I'm going to shoot for, I don't know, say around 0.6, 0.7 ohms with 28 gauge nichrome. So I'm just going to give it 8 or 9 wraps. And you don't have to be pretty with it, guys. You really don't. For a couple of reasons. One, by the time that you get this off of here, and again, remember guys, with your coils, you want them This isn't like a Genesis style where you want them both on the same side, which I'm pretty sure you can't even see that. But basically what you want to do is, let's see if I can get this in a little closer. Get out of the way. Basically, you don't want both your wires facing the same direction. You want one facing one way, that way, and one facing that way, right? So basically, once you get the coil wraps to what you need, you know, finish it off. Make sure you got one facing one way, one facing the other. I'll just trim it off a bit here, and that's that. And then we'll see how well I can do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and focus this in just a bit more. And we'll show you a couple things here. So on your deck you have 2 screws. There are 1 center hole, which is, that's basically where your airflow is coming in, right there. On the side here you'll notice that there's 2 notches cut out on either side. That's basically your juice flow. And then on the actual side there's also a notch cut here and a notch cut here. This hole in the top that you see right there is your fill screw, which is, I'll show it to you after. Basically it's directly underneath. There's a screw underneath here. Some people have had leaking issues just with the juice finally working through the threading and coming out the base. I haven't had any problems as of yet, but I will definitely keep you posted on it. But basically you got your 2 screws, your airflow, and this is basically just a block. So what you're going to do is, I'll focus this in again. Right there. So basically all you're going to do is place it in the center like this. I've also seen a few builds that were done vertically. I haven't tried that yet. I don't really feel like doing that today just because, I don't know, I don't feel like it. So what you're going to do is wrap one around, and we'll use the supplied screwdriver. And I'm just going to tighten her down. And we'll take the second one, try and center it a little bit better. So we want it basically right over the air hole. And oops, we'll move down the second one like so. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, of course, the coil doesn't look all that pretty at the moment. Right? Not really the prettiest coil I've done. But basically what I'm going to do after we check the resistance is we're going to throw it onto a mod. And then we're going to heat the coil up and squish it, which basically turns it into a microcoil. So there's that there. We're pretty much right over the coil, or right over the air hole. And right now we're pretty much causing a dead short because of where the air hole is and where the coil is. Whoops. So we'll just lift it off like so. And you want to make sure you got a nice gap. And I don't, because it didn't work. yourself a nice little gap. You probably can't really see that. Get closer and closer and closer. Oh, yeah, I know. My reviews are crap. That's why I don't have companies sending me crap load of stuff all the time. There you go. That's a little better. So you can see there's a nice little gap in the bottom there. So we got that done, and let's check the resistance. So we're at 1.1 ohm. So that's I want to make that a little lower. So let's do a coil adjustment. So we'll throw that on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. And I'm just going to show you the difference of what basically one wrap can make. So I'm going to take one wrap off, just one. I'll slide it back underneath. Snug it down, give her a little lift. So that was one wrap that I just pulled off. So that brings it down to 1 ohm. Which, you can kind of see that. 1 ohm, right? So I want to bring it down a little bit lower than that. So we'll just slide the screwdriver back in. Actually, you know what? 1 ohm's good enough. I don't need to go any lower than that. That'll work good on a mech. And I'll show you what mech I've basically been using it on. So there. So I got that done. I don't like doing the wiggly thing, just because I don't really seem to be able to do it very well. I always wiggle it right out of the connection. So I'll just take it, push the excess in, like so, just to make it look a little partier, even though nobody ever sees it. But it's always good to take a little pride in your work, right? So we'll just turn that back on, make sure we're still sitting at 1 ohm. I'm going to take this off. And the Nemesis is basically what I've been using it on. And this is going to be a long review. So basically, just so you guys know, Nemesis, no kick, it's just an 18650, the Sony batteries. So just throw that in there, do some adjustments, there we go. And we're going to heat her up. So, not bad, but we're going to tighten the coils up. So all you're going to do is heat it up, let her glow, and squish just before it stops cooling. Heat it up, it's heat from the middle real nice, and give her a squish. Heat it up. And you really only have to do this a couple times just to get the coils nice and tight. And then what I like to do is put the screwdriver back in, reposition it so that it's directly over the hole. Make sure we're not making any contact. Fire it up again. Beautiful. Now, because I'm a safety conscientious person, I'm going to throw it back on my resistance checker just to make sure that nothing's dropped or changed. So we're still sitting at an ohm. Yeah, still sitting there at an ohm. Give the coil a little tap just to make sure you don't get any changes or shorts. And you're pretty much ready. Whoops, I should leave that on there. Pretty much ready to throw some cotton in there. So I've already taken a cotton ball, straightened it out, I guess. And you don't need a lot of cotton. You really don't. I just feed it through like so. Give her a twist. Get her so you got a decent amount of tension. You don't want to go overboard. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind: those those juice channels that I was showing you earlier. You basically don't want to block those. So basically all I do is I'll cut her off right about there. And then other side, cut her off right about there. Now because I can pull this back and forth, just make a minor adjustment, and that should be good. So you basically want her to look pretty much like that. A little uneven, well, looks a little uneven because the other side's down, but that's basically what you want. Right there. Perfect. Beautiful. So the juice I'm going to be putting into this is from Maple Leaf Vapes. It's P.S. I Love You. Basically it's a pomegranate berry vape that I've tried a couple times. Wasn't really a big fan of it at first, but one thing I've always noticed with vaping, guys, is if there's a juice that you weren't really 100% sure about when you first started vaping, go back to it and give it a try. Because I've noticed that a lot of juices that I didn't like back when I first started vaping are some of my favorite vapes today. So always keep that in mind. So one thing you want to make sure, guys, when you are putting your cotton in place, those air channels that I showed you, or the juice channels on the side, you want to make sure that they are not obstructed by any means. The first time I built this, I wasn't really paying attention. I just went by how short it was supposed to be. You know, I didn't want to go too overboard with the cotton, but I ended up blocking the path with the cotton, and I got dry hits, which really sucks. But it's just a matter of using a little juice to keep your wick back, and you should be good to go. So that should be that. We'll thread this onto a mod, and vapory goodness. So at that point, you can now take your chimney, thread it over top. Always give her a quick fire just to make sure. Your smaller chimney, or your chimney top, I guess, you'll want to make sure that's good and snug, like so. The two parts of the tank, doesn't matter which end it goes on, they're not marked, they're pretty much the exact identical piece. And we're just going to throw that like so. Grab your center section. I wish mine was clear, but it's not. Oh well. So throw the top section on. Now, basically, there's two ways that you can kind of fill this. One way is you can fill it as it sits. The main reason why I say that is because these tanks work on a vacuum pressure system, basically. So if you start to fill this tank up, throw the top cap on without taking any precautions, you're just going to flood it. Because as soon as you start to screw that cap on, the O-ring on your top cap will seal, and all the air pressure is just basically going to force juice out through the air hole. So there's a couple precautionary steps to take. This is basically the way that I fill it and have been filling it. I don't know, I find it not really necessarily easier, but I don't really have to carry any tools with me when I go to fill my tank. So basically all I do is just fill her right up. Fill her pretty much almost to the top of the chimney. Whoops. Take your top cap, set it on, air hole, plug it, just catch the thread, turn it upside down with your finger still on it, and then just snug it up. Now you may get a little bit of flooding at this point. I haven't, which is fantastic. Now it also came with your Allen key. Now your Allen key is for your airflow adjustment, which is located there, and then your air hole is here. So when you screw it in, it tightens the draw. When you screw it out, it loosens the draw. I've pretty much got mine almost backed right out, and it does actually make a difference for your adjustability, but I want to try this out. So yeah, 1 ohm coil, Kayfun. I'm not sure what version it is. It doesn't specify on the box or in the package for that matter. But basically what happened was they sent me a few things to kind of try out and review. And surprisingly enough, I think I might actually try and get my hands on some more of these. Now I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but it has one hell of a nasty whistle. Is kind of my only gripe or complaint, but it does vape very, very well. Decent vapor. Flavor, it's actually pretty much exactly the way I remembered it. I wasn't really a big fan of this. I think it's just mainly because of the fact that I'm not a big pomegranate fan for the most part. But this is kind of a pomegranate with a kind of a berry mixture blend to it. It's not bad, and this isn't really a juice review, but fuck, am I real close? Let's zoom that shit out. There. Much better. So yeah, guys, not really much more I can tell you about it. I know the clones are going for fairly inexpensive, anywhere from $30 to $54, depending on where you find it. I can't speak on those particular ones, but the one that I have here works fantastic. My only gripe, actually 2 gripes. One is I didn't get the clear section. 2, the whistle. That's it. That's really the only problems that I've had. Now, the other neat thing too, guys, is if you do happen to have an issue with a dry hit, because this works on a vacuum system, kind of think of it like your cardo tanks, because it kind of works almost sort of on the same principle. If you tighten the draw up on your air, you're going to suck a lot more juice. So if you do happen to get a dry hit, all you really have to do is cover the air hole. Just take a couple light, sharp toots on it. And you're vaping away again. Now I'm not doing any big lung inhales, mainly because of the airflow. This is actually more designed for doing the mouth to lung hits. Very nice warm vapor, very flavorful, and you can tell the vapor production is just fantastic. So yeah, guys, Kayfun, definitely get your hands on one. Looks very complicated, but it's not. It's actually one of the easiest RBAs that I have. It's easier than the Genesis styles. It's basically just a tank version of a rebuildable dripping atomizer with juice capacity. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. A couple places you can pick them up: Can Vapes, Vaporous.com. The ohm checker are now available at Vaporous.com. Thanks a lot, Vaporous. That's fantastic. Or not Vaporous, Can Vapes, sorry. These are available at Can Vapes, not Vaporous. CanVapes.com. So go check those out too, guys. But that's all I got for you today. So as always, let's keep on vaping.